Okay, now my name's Tim, and this is true. My dad's a preacher, my mom's a bodybuilder. That's true. Okay, good. And so, it worked for me, because when I got with my friends at school, remember how many of y'all, let's see what we got in here, 6th grade, 7th grade, right? 8th grade? When I was in 4th grade, this kid walked up to me and he goes, "Hey man." I said, "What?" He goes, "My dad will be your dad." I said, "Dude, my mom will kill your dad, man." For real, my mom was bad. For real. When I got in trouble, my dad was like, "Ooh, when your mother gets home." I ain't lying, she was bad. She gave me 3 choices when I got in trouble too. My mom was tough. She gave me a spanking, a whipping, or a beating, whichever one I wanted. How many of y'all got that at home? You know what I'm saying? Hey, how many of y'all did this? Hey, when I used to get in trouble, I remember I used to get in trouble, my parents were like, "Well, I'm gonna whoop you now. You better get in that bedroom." When they sent you to a bedroom, you're in trouble. And your mom was like, "Pull your pants down." You're like, "I'm 12, no." You know what I mean? Like, pull your pants, bend over, boy. And you know how you try to bend over, but you just can't, man. Your head's going to bend over, but your butt's like, You know? Like my head was like bend over. I was like, okay. How many of y'all did a dance? You're like, "No, mama, no, mama." One time, I got so scared, I ain't lying. I took a book, I stuck in my pants, man. I did, I was scared, so I was like, I'm gonna show her. I put a book in my pants. So I put this big book, and you can't use no soft book. I got a hard book, man. I bent over, she looked down, she's like, this is exactly what she goes, "You ain't got a square booty." That ain't funny, man. She took the book out, beat me with a book, then whooped me, man. Serious, man. I got beat up by Dr. Seuss. That ain't funny. Ain't funny at all. You know why y'all funny to laugh? I love to see y'all laugh. You know why? Because when you laugh, it makes me laugh, because y'all got the funniest laughs. I told a joke. One time I was at a school, I told a joke, and this girl, I'm sick, she sounded like a horse, man. She was like, I was like, what is wrong with that girl? Hey, I heard this girl, man, she sounded like she was stuttering. She was like, craziest thing I ever heard, man. You know what I like? I like it when the girls look like they're about to stop breathing, they're gonna die, they're like, don't they always finish it like, oh? Oh yeah. How many of y'all like it? Y'all got that kid in the back of your class, and she loses it so bad she tries to hold it in, and then she snorts, man. Ain't it true? Oh yeah. She's like, I love that. That's my favorite. That's funny. Now you know why? Look at me real quick. Here's why I like this. I gotta read you this letter. I'm gonna read you a few letters real quick. Because see, there's some kids, I go to their school and they can't laugh. I've been doing this for 12 years. I can't hardly believe it. I make my living doing this because y'all are just beautiful and it's too much fun. I mean, this is it. This is my desire. Isn't that crazy? I don't know what y'all just said, so just shut up again. Okay, listen. I get letters like this. I got 115 emails in the month of February. That ain't a bunch of emails, but listen. No, listen, seriously, I don't want to have to stop so much, because you guys gotta, man, you need to hear this, it's fun. And I'm gonna tell more jokes, and you're gonna laugh at me, okay? Listen, this girl wrote me this letter and said, "Hi, my name is Skylar. I talked to you earlier. The reason why I'm writing you is because I relate to you in some way. I'm really depressed. My parents aren't getting along, they have to get a divorce. And today I really had a hard time because I couldn't laugh at the assembly. My life has been a living something else. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, chill. All right. She's being honest, man. Just ever since my father got involved with alcohol, my dad takes his anger out and his mistakes on my mother. Sometimes he uses words and other times he uses his hands. Not cool. Yeah, it's real though. Listen, listen. See, maybe you don't understand where this kid is coming from, but I just want to tell you this. Because you would look at me and you say, wow, I mean, like today we'll sing a song, we'll leave. We don't have much of a sound system going right now, but we're gonna do some music for you. But I have a record deal. I write for EMI Records, and my publisher Steve writes. It's unbelievable to me that I can sit at my house, play songs. On the low end, I might make $8,000 or $10,000 for a song we write and sell, and maybe on the high end, maybe $80,000 or $100,000 for a single song. And it's unbelievable to me to realize that I was a kid, man. I used to live. Literally, I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. I lived under a bridge for a while. I was in the back of my truck, just like that thing on Saturday Night Live, you know, under a bridge, never mind. And so, but I really was, and this guy took me and basically told me that there was hope. And see, when you look at people, you try to figure them out, and you try to look at them and say, man, what kind of day are they having? But we never know. How many guys been watching on the news with this guy that just blew up in a courthouse and shot people? It just all went crazy, right? Okay, now listen. You know what everybody's saying about it? This is what everybody's saying. I listened to his defense attorney. He said, you know, until just like this week, he brought some stuff in his shoes. He was trying to like sneak some stuff in, but he said up to that point, he said, man, he was respectful. He was quiet. He never showed signs of anger. And the thing is, sometimes we got to realize that we don't know what somebody around us is going through. And we have to be very careful, because I know sometimes when we come in here and we talk to you about life and about choices, sometimes I tell jokes and I watch kids' face and they can't laugh. Nothing we say is funny to them, because they're just like, man, my life is so broken. It's so tough. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes they're just being tough, because you know those kids will be like, hey man, what's up? And they're like this. And you're like, and he's like, and you're like, your cat died. And he's like, I did it. You're like, oh, okay. But some kids, man, it's like they can't laugh. Look at this. I got this letter. This is a handwritten letter, y'all. I'm gonna read you a real, listen to this. This is amazing to me. This girl said, we lived in a trailer park, and one day I was outside on a Thursday, nothing new. My mom came to the door and told us to come in. We were kids, so we listened. She told us to go into her room and she'd be there in a minute. She came in with a small piece of cardboard, which unknown to us was folded around a razor. She had a 2-liter of Diet Coke. I still can't stand the taste of Diet Coke, she says in parentheses. She had a small bottle of prescribed pills. I think they were antidepressant pills that she took. There were clothes everywhere in her room. She took 3 cement blocks and put them in front of the door. I remember my brother Kyle was 4. I was 7. She overpowered us. I knew what was coming. I hoped she wasn't going to mean what she was about to do. I figured it would be, quote, youngest to oldest. She said, my mom, I don't know what I missed there. Listen, this is serious. She said, my mom fed us the pills nonstop, forced them down our throat with her finger. I know I had at least 7 or 8 pills, and Kyle had a lot of these pills too. It made me really tired. It was unbelievable. It did the opposite for Kyle, my brother. He was jumping and running all over the room. I laid in bed against the wall. I stuck my wrist down the sides of the bed and tried to sleep. You're probably thinking it shouldn't have been that hard, but remember, we were targeted victims. She said I was only 7. My mom was much stronger than me. She said there was so much fear in my brother's eyes. She took the cardboard, unwrapped the razor. She came toward him with determination in her eyes. Carl started to yell. She got a hold of him and slit both of his wrists. He started to scream. She said, I'm going to put you out of your misery. He was only 4, and he was screaming because he was afraid of his own blood. Then she turned to me, and I remember her eyes. I'll never forget them, mister. I'd like to say they were evil, but they were red, but it was her. She was determined. With her left hand, she grabbed my right wrist, and with the razor in her right hand, I grabbed her hand to put up a fight, but it was too late. Little girl came to me. She said, mister, don't stop telling the jokes. Don't stop going to school. I said, why? She said, because my brother's out there, and if he lived, I don't know if he did or not when I came to. She said, my mom was in prison, and my brother was taken away, and she said, wherever he is in his school, maybe you'll get to him today. And I don't know if you, even you, are in this room, and maybe you've experienced something like that, but that's the kind of kid I was. You wouldn't understand by looking at me this, but I was not a kid that had everything. Like I told you, my house, my parents, they decided one day that they were going to split up, they were going to get a divorce. And see, life sometimes takes us through some challenging moments, you know. I don't know about y'all, but like this $10 bill here. How many of you know how much this $10 is worth? $10. $10? Wow, we got some smart kids. Now listen, if I take this and I crumble it all up, how Even when it's messed up? What about if I do this? Man, that's nasty, dude. I think somebody been sitting on that one. One time, man, I didn't have no money. I asked a girl in the crowd, I was like, can I borrow your $20? She's like, yeah. She gave me her 20 bucks, and I did that, and I acted like I swallowed it. I was like, She looks at me, she's like, give me my money back. I said, I can't, girl. I don't have to wait for a few days. That's sick, ain't it? I wouldn't really do that, though. You know why? Because it might come out changed. That would hurt. Imagine that, like a roll of quarters, man. You'd be like, oh, son of a gun! Lord Jesus! Yeah. Y'all having fun yet? Yeah. Y'all want me to keep saying funny stuff? Because if I don't, y'all won't listen, I know. So here it is. Here's the deal. When I was a kid, it took somebody, it took an adult, and sometimes I know, see the problem with you is this. I know the way you are. Somebody came and ironed out the wrinkles of my life and really convinced me that, hey Tim, you might be a mess. You might be right now without a house, without a family, without nothing, but you're not worth $1 less than the day you were created. And so I went on and I got my education, and now I own my own business, and it's like I have everything I ever dreamed of, 2 precious kids, got a wife. But you know what? I had that attitude when I was young that I'm not going to listen to anybody, I'm going to do my own thing. See, sometimes kids, I hear them and I'm like, man, listen, and I know what you're thinking, man, don't tell me about drugs. And we try to fix it all the wrong ways, right? We come to people and go, just say no. That's like going to homeless people and going, hey dude, just get a house. You know, it's not going to work. Sounds good. Here's the deal. I had all these people telling me, you know what, no one gave me a better reason to say no to stuff, because my life was such a wreck. I thought, any way I can get away from this stuff, I want to get away. It was all just medication for me. That's the way I looked at it, man. I don't care what I got to do. If I can just forget about the fact that I'm sleeping literally in an '84 Ford Ranger pickup truck from my house, I want to forget about this, because, man, my life is going nowhere. I was discouraged. I had no family, no nothing. 11 relatives of mine were murdered in southwest Detroit, where I grew up. I had cousins that were beat to death over just a bottle of wine in a bag. And I had a cousin that was murdered in an alley behind our house on Dragoon Street. Man, drugged down the alley, and they took cigarettes and lit them and put them out all over her body so bad they couldn't even recognize her. I mean, I saw so much evil and so much violence and so much hatred, so much stuff. And I got to where I was like, you know what, don't tell me, I'm going to do my own thing. And then people would come to me and be like, Tim, you're going to mess up your life. And you know what I said? It's just the way I am. It's just the way this is the way I am. Now, I know nobody in this room's ever said that to your family or your teacher or your parents. But you know what? That's not a good excuse to go, this is just the way I am. What if you just poop your pants when you were like 1 and then you got like 12 and you still poop your pants? That's the truth. That's the best way I can say it to junior high, so stay with me. Here it is. What if you come to school and your teacher's like, you really need to stop pooping your pants? And you be like, I can't help it. That's just the way I am. I'm just a pooper. Just call me pooper. I'm just a pooper. I can't stop it. It's the way I am. No, see, some things we do, we really need to think, we need to stop. And I know you're like, man, I don't like the rules. I don't want to hear about don't do drugs and don't do alcohol. I want to hear about do my own thing. It's the way I am. I know. But you know what? Sometimes the very rules that we don't like are the only things that save our butt when we need it. Here's what I mean. I got a friend, he's dumb. Real dumb. And he never puts his lips together when he talks, and it makes me so mad. He's like, hey, team. I'm like, would you just close your mouth one time? Just once. He's like, we go over to his grandpa's house when I was a kid. His name was Eric. He goes, hey, Tim, come over to my grandpa's house. I was like, okay. So we go to his grandpa's house, and his grandpa goes, hey, boys, y'all can run anywhere you want out here in the field. Now, I know we're in Pike County. I know y'all drive John Deere tractors to prom. No, I'm kidding. And so I know y'all like John Deere. Yeah. Ain't got my tractor, sick, That's sad. That's real sad, y'all. Okay, so, hey, y'all like country? I'll just start singing her. She got her daddy the money. So, anyway, so this kid, he goes to me, he goes, hey, I'll tell you what. His grandpa goes, y'all can play anywhere on the farm, but don't go in that one field with that bull. And that bull will mess you up. And Eric looked at me and he goes, okay. And I was like, That ain't a good okay. That's a, we about to do whatever we want, okay? And I was like, man, I hope he's right. And he looks at me and goes, I got an idea, man. I said, I have no idea what you said, but where are we going? He goes, come with me, man. I was like, okay. So we go out, and he goes, and he gets this mini bike. Now this is when I grew up, like back in the old days, before they had dirt. And so, he gets a mini bike, this old mini bike, they had big old fat tires. And you start them up and just get on them, and they go about 1 mile an hour. That's kind of funny, until you're inside of a fence with a bull. He put the mini bike in the fence and he goes, watch here. That is the worst last words of any friend you got. If he ever goes, hey, watch here, he's done for, man. He reaches over the fence. He gets in the fence. He starts the mini bike. So things running and he goes, come on, get on. I was like, heck no, man. He goes, come on, do it, man. If you want it, cool, you will. I was like, okay. So he gets on, I get on, I'm behind Eric, I got my arms around him, I look down, there's a bull in the field, the thing goes 1 mile an hour, and I realize his mini bike is red. That ain't funny either. Y'all stop laughing about all this stuff, it ain't funny. We're going across the field about 1 mile an hour, and this bull started talking to me, man, I'm telling you, I heard him. He was like, I'm Diablo. I will kill you. And I was like, oh, hey Eric, the bull is talking to us. And this bull's like, I'm going to kill you. He starts coming across the field, and I'm looking and I'm like, we are not going to get away from this bull. I mean, the bull's about to kill me. And I'm getting scared, and I'm seeing my mother, she coming to me like, I told you, you shouldn't have done this, boy. I'll whoop you again, beat you with a book, and then I was like, oh man, I should not have done it. I know we wasn't supposed to get out of here. And I'm going across there, and we're going 1 mile an hour, and the bull's coming. And I look up at the bull, and I look at Eric, and I just said, man, we ain't gonna make it, so I just dumped the mini bike. Now we laying on the ground in what I thought was mud. Somebody called it a cow pie, but it ain't like pecan pie, I promise you. So I'm laying there, I get up off this thing, and this mini bike's still like, it's still going, but it's just sideways, so it ain't going nowhere. And Eric's on the bike like, what you doing for? So I'm sitting there and I don't know what to do. So I think, and I started thinking, what am I gonna do now? I mean, I can't outrun the bull, you know what I mean? Bulls are fast. I was like, oh, he's gonna kill me. And I'm looking, and he's still coming like, I told you so, I'm Diablo. I was like, dude, Diablo's coming, man. Diablo's coming. And I'm getting scared and scared. And then I realized, man, I don't have to outrun the bull. I just gotta outrun Eric. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just took off, man. Eric got up, I tripped him. I was like, oh, sorry, man. I'm heading over the fence. I jump on the other side of the fence, and I see Eric just coming. I see Diablo coming. I was like, oh, he is dead. Better hit than me. And so I'm looking, and the bull saw the bike, and it was still running, and it made him mad, and he went after the bike, and he tore that bike. I'm telling y'all, tore it to pieces. That could have been me. And Eric jumps over the fence, and we're both sitting there like, And we watching that bull go, and I was like, that could have been you, dog. We're looking, and I'll never forget his last words. You know what they were? I said, man, that's crazy. He looks at me, he goes, I know. He goes, I ain't gonna do it again.